this target, what is actually new about it? Because as Joe Tanner just suggested, actually, does it mean that people are going to have to put up with half the levels of sewage in their water that they've had for the last few years? We've looked at the numbers. If you have it, you only go back to 2019 when there were still 225,000 sewage spills.
Well, I'm able to make that commitment to halve sewage pollution from water companies within 5 years because of that set of actions that we've taken, because of those building blocks. That isn't the end of our ambition, of course. Over a decade of national renewal, we need to restore all of our rivers, lakes and seas to good health. But if you remember, up until this year, sewage pollution has got worse every single year. This is the line that we're now drawing. We turn this situation around, and over the next 5 years, we reduce that type of sewage pollution from water companies by 50% at least. And then we go on, of course, there'll be an election in between if we're re-elected to restore all of our rivers and lakes and seas to the purity that we remember.
But what's actually different about you saying that? Because that has been the situation since December. The regulator then told companies that to get their permits, they had to say they'd have it within 5 years. What's the difference you saying it today?
Well, the difference is all of those other measures that we brought in as well. So banning bonuses, increasing jail sentences.
But I just wonder why people should sit up and
Let me give you an
today.
example. So one of the big water companies, they call it a price review period. It's the 5-year period in which they commit to spend a certain amount of investment in upgrading pipes. They missed over 50% of those targets. So governments have come out before, made less ambitious targets that they've failed to meet. Tomorrow, I'm going to listen to what Sir John Cunliffe has said. We're going to have a revolution in the rules that govern our water sector. We're going to completely transform that broken regulatory system so that we get more of a grip on what the water companies are doing, so that I can say with confidence that this commitment I'm making will be delivered and I will be held to account for delivering it.
So if you don't, do you resign, you quit, you lose your job if that target isn't met?
Well, I'm making an absolute commitment and I'm committed to delivering it. And my intention, assuming I'm lucky enough to still be in the same job in 5 years' time, I would love to sit here with you then, Laura, and point to places like Windermere and see how much cleaner they are than today.
Sure, that's what
we're turning a
like,
story of decline into a story of renewal.
But you have just put your job on the line because you believe you can get it done.
Shouldn't it? Politicians come and say we're going to do things. Of course our job should be on the line if we don't.